Okay, had a couple questions from the homework out of 6.6. One was this problem here, 5x squared plus 9x minus 72. It was actually came from problem number 12 out of the homework assignment, and was factoring this type of problem here. Now remember, when we're solving a quadratic equation, the first thing we want to do is get the equation equal to 0. Once that's the case, we begin to factor. Now this particular polynomial has no common factor, and we are stuck with a number in front of the squared term. So we begin by taking the product, 5 times negative 72, and boy, we get a big doozy here, negative 360. So we need to find numbers that multiply to be negative 360 that add to be positive 9. So probably isn't going to pop into your head right away. So you can always begin with listing them. Now a negative 1 and 360, not even close to what we need, so we keep going. Negative 2 and 180, still again not even close to what we need. Well, you can keep listing them out in numerical order. You go up with 3 and 4 would work, and 5 and 72, 6 would even work. I don't think 7 does, but 8 would and 9 would. I'm going to jump ahead a little bit to save some writing, and I see 360. And the first thing that kind of pops into my head is, hey, 10 and 360, or 10 and 36. Now those had to be 26. That sum's still not 9, but notice they're a lot closer. So I'm going to use that as my kind of starting point. And then just start checking. 11 doesn't go into 360. 12 does go into 360. 12 goes in 30 times. Okay, still not the pair we need. Those had to be 18, but that's getting closer. So you continue going up. 13 doesn't work. 14 doesn't work. Until you now come to 15. 15 goes in 24 times, which adds up to be a positive 9, so that's the pair we need. When you get these bigger ones like this, the factor, that's what you're going to run into. Sometimes you're going to have ones where the bulk of the work of the problem is just finding the pair of numbers. Now remember, once we've found the pair of numbers that we need, in this case 15 and 24, we can now go back to our original expression, replace that 9x there with those two numbers. So 5x squared minus 15x plus 24x minus 72 equals 0. Okay? And then we begin to factor by grouping. We can take a 5x out of the first two. And we come to 24 and 72. Be careful here. 24 actually goes into everything. You want to make sure you take as much out as you can. And then we have the x minus 3 in both that we can pull out. We have x minus 3 in 5x plus 24. Now this is equal to 0, so we can now invoke our zero factor property that says one of those two factors must be 0. So x minus 3 is 0, or 5x plus 24 is 0. And so then we get x equals 3 as one of our solutions. For 5x plus 24, we have to subtract the 24 from both sides first. right, and then divide by 5. And so we get our two solutions, x equals 3 and x equals negative 25. And again, if you go back and look at what we did, a large part of our work came in right there. And that was coming up with a pair of factors. And that's what's probably going to give many of you trouble sometimes. And it's also remembering that once we do find those factors, because we have something in front of our squared term, we have to do replacing that middle term with those two numbers. We have to do the extra work and do the factoring by grouping. So hopefully if you have problems with trouble with problems like this, this will help you out.